Uh-huh.
Dre will be leading our fitness topic.
Yes, no
So
doubt.
a while ago, we spoke about The Rock, Dwayne Johnson,
Yeah.
and his diet and how he's a lion-ass liar. And so,
Yo. Yo. So here we are, we're gonna talk about The Rock again. But I'm not part of this whole, hating on him type thing. And I've explained it in detail in a couple of pods ago. So for those of you who didn't hear that, just go back to a couple of pods. You can, hear my kind of like deep dive on him and how I'm not really hating on him because I completely understand why he can't be transparent.
Right.
Yeah. As far as like everything he does.
Right.
But I found something kind of interesting, and this is really not that new, but The Rock does these like, and I probably talked about this before, these like crazy cheat meals. You know what I'm saying? Like he's always taking pictures of these like cheat meals. Right. And the reason I want to talk about it is because I don't think these epic kind of cheat meals are a good idea. If you're saying I need to lose weight, and I need to like get on a diet, it's important to be consistent. And when you do be like consistent, do some big jump in calories, I don't think that's the best idea. So if you're going to have a cheat little snack, I believe you should do like something small, but these like epic, we this dude is like eating full things of pizza and whatever.
Yeah, it's like five different pies.
Yeah, and like crazy pancakes and stuff. It's like, and it's like for the day. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna have this one meal. It's not one cheat meal. It's a cheat day, and it's like, bro, you could easily mess up everything you just did in the week. You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna do like 5,000 calories, like that's crazy. So what I want to do, and hopefully things don't go wrong, I'm going to share my screen and just play a small clip from this dude's like epic cheat day, Yeah.
Yeah, because you could share your whole screen or just a specific tab.
New meaning to the term gluttony.
I'm
pretty disciplined throughout the week in terms of my working out.
Uh-oh.
No, that's good.
My diet. And when Sunday rolls around, it's time to go to town. For example, this past Sunday, I had these amazing pineapple and coconut pancakes, little pieces of dried pineapple inside the pancakes, just the right amount of crunch to the pancakes. Then I will have maybe burgers and fries. And,
look at this, man.
Pasta. Sundays, I go all out.
And alcohol.
So while on Instagram, I do take pictures before I destroy the cheat meals, in which I usually have a glass of Terramana tequila, especially at night when I have my cheat meals then. But it's very real. What I should start doing is taking two pictures. So there's one of the meal on Instagram before, and then the empty plate that my dog is licking the excess off of at the end.
There it is. And you're
back. And I'm back. Nice. So yeah, man. So as you see, it's like, are you kidding? You know what I mean? Like, are you kidding? That is way too much. First, let me take the last things first. Why is your dog licking off your plate? Yo, sorry. That's disgusting. What are you, nuts? Ew. Your dog and you should have separate plates always. That's how mofos get. That's why we get all these weird viruses and germs and stuff. Stop mixing humans and fucking animals together, man. No. You know what I'm saying? And I know people might, but he washes it after. No. Unacceptable. You know what I mean? But throw that to the side for a minute. Son.
The dog people are about to come for you.
Oh, man. No, I'm waiting for them to come for me.
They love doing shit like that.
That's going to be the next, like, oh my God. The dog licking your face and dog kisses, the most disgusting thing ever. It needs to stop, period. That is not how we do. No, I can go in on it if we want. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is our first broadcast where we, it's quote unquote Black History Month. You see, I say Black History 365, but I'm bringing this up just to say the Moors back in the days taught the Europeans, because the Europeans were suffering from so much disease and they didn't know what the problem was. And the Moors came in and was like, yo, okay, you see how y'all living with the animals? That's the first problem.
Right.
Humans go in the house, the animals get their own house. We're going to call that a farm and separate. You should not be with them. And Europeans was like, wow, all of a sudden things got much better. We didn't have any of these weird diseases anymore. Like, yes, you're nasty. No, that's not how we do. Sorry. You know what I mean? And I feel the same way. Like, your dog licking your plate, bro. No. Mm-mm. But we're going to put that to the side. Let's go on.
Yeah.
In terms of dieting, man, it's like, honestly, if you saw these big plates, not to mention alcohol on top of it, it's like, yo, you can wreck your diet. So if you say to yourself, I'm eating approximately 2,000 or 1,000, 1,500 calories a day to stay in a calorie deficit, then you want to always try to be in a calorie deficit. And so if you need a little teeny snack, if you need a little, cheat meal, maybe one day or something, once every 2 weeks or something like that, because you just kind of, we're all dealing with our urges. Okay, fine. But to take a full day, that full day that looks like about 10,000 calories right there. So that could easily knock out all the work you did, all of it. You know what I mean? And you kind of be like, you will see yourself or the scale not going anywhere. You're like, man, it's so hard for me to lose weight. Yeah, because you're doing epic cheat days, bro. Right. Big giant pizzas, 3 or 4 burgers, stacks of pancakes.
That was definitely the extra large pizza.
Son, that pizza was like, whoa. And it's just you by yourself? Nah, bad idea. And the other thing is, those foods are what we call triggering foods. So if you've taken those foods out for a full week and you're trying to get your body to reset to say, hey, we're going to eat healthy foods. We're not going to eat processed foods. No more high sugar, no more high sodium. We're going to eat healthy foods. Well, the body can't miss if it doesn't have it, right? Meaning the less it has, the more it's kind of getting used to like not having it. You know as well as I know, the moment you eat that thing, something clicks into the brain like a drug, and fruit. These processed foods is no different than any other drug. Right. Something processed in the brain like, ooh, is that cake? You know what I'm saying? Is that high sugar? Ooh, I want more. I want more. So to think that you're only going to do it on a Saturday or Sunday and that you don't have these urges on Monday, on Tuesday, in my opinion, it's going to be harder and harder to get back to a place where you want to be, where you don't eat those foods, than if you have a full day of eating shit food. It's just not a good idea. And so as much as I like The Rock, and don't get me wrong, like, yo, I like the dude, you know what I mean? For his age, he's in great shape. And perhaps this works for him. But I think for most people, those triggering foods is just not a good idea to have a full day of it, because you're going to see yourself not going back to it on the other days, or, it's going to be from once a week to every 2 days or every 3 days, and more until you just give up and you're eating it every day. You realize, like, man, let me get some of those chicken wings though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to keep being with it. Yeah. So it's like, yo, I don't think it's a good idea to have epic cheat days like that. It's just you don't want to do that to yourself.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think?
So I think you're right and wrong simultaneously. I'm going to chime in. So I think, yes, for most people, this is a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The people listening to this podcast, for me, who struggles with consistency, this is a bad idea. To completely say, hey, every Sunday, I'm going to completely wow the fuck out and just eat as much as I can of whatever I can. Yes, for most people, this is a terrible idea. Everything you said, I totally agree with on that side. Now, I don't think it's a bad idea for The Rock. Why? The Rock is not most people. The Rock is in probably the best shape a human can get. He's got probably single-digit body fat. And The Rock is not trying to lose anything. The Rock is in what we call the maintenance phase, right? The Rock is not trying to go anywhere. He's trying to just stay where he's at. And so he's got a lot more wiggle room than somebody like me who has not been consistent and who's not in the greatest shape. So it's a very different ball game for somebody like The Rock. The Rock could probably do whatever the fuck he wants twice a week and still be fine because he's in a different phase. Now, it's going to be harder for The Rock to maintain that single digit body fat and that physique if he does that 2-3 times a week. But The Rock is working out for hours every day, and The Rock is burning a fuck ton of calories every day. So his situation is much different than somebody in my position or some of our listeners who we know are listening and struggling with different things. Yes, most people, I totally agree. Most people, this is a terrible idea. You should not destroy your entire diet with an entire day of filth. But The Rock is not most people. He is in peak body position. The Rock is on some bodybuilder shit. The Rock is working out for hours and hours every day in the gym. He can afford to do it. Now, is it a good thing for people to see who want to be like The Rock? No, it's not. Now, if that's what we're going to talk about, yeah, no, it's not a good idea for his fans who are like, I want to be like Dwayne Johnson. I'm going to follow everything he does. Well, then no, it's not a good idea for those folks because those folks are probably not, most of them, in the position of finances, resources, and time availability that The Rock is. Those people probably do not have the drugs that he has access to, the money he has access to, the trainers he has access to, and the amount of free time that he can put in the gym. The Rock can easily do 5 hours in the gym today and say, okay, I'm good. I did 5 hours. 5 hours in the gym is a fuck ton of calories being burned. Then he's still on set acting and doing whatever else. He's burning tons and tons of calories. Most of his fans are not in that same position. So is it good for them to see and want to analyze and emulate? No, it's not. Is it entertaining? Absolutely. And so as a person who's a fan of The Rock, like yourself, like myself, we have to take that responsibility on ourselves, right? We can say, hey, The Rock ate an extra large pepperoni pizza and then also had 3 burgers and 7 orders of fries. Awesome. You can't do that shit.
Right.
You can't do that shit. You'd probably be in a diabetic coma.
Right. Yeah, and that's exactly the point that I really wanted to get into because, yes, The Rock has millions and millions of fans. I'm sure his Instagram or Twitter and TikTok is in the millions, right? And so that is the problem because people see it, they want to emulate it. And that's my main reason for putting this out here because, I am a fitness coach, you know what I'm saying? Sensei of fitness, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when people see that, people like myself, maybe even you got to say, okay, wait a minute. You can't do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
That is less than 1% of the population because there are some people who have very, very high metabolisms and they could do that. They could do that every day. They could eat like that every day and be lean, right? Because like you said, The Rock is trying to maintain, he's trying to stay lean. But those are some very fatty foods. Yes. Very high caloric meals. You cannot maintain a lean body by consistently eating high caloric meals. You will not be in a caloric deficit. You will not be in maintenance. You will be in surplus. Right. And so I'm coming out here to say, hey, just because you see this cat do it like you just said, you don't have his resources, you may not have his metabolism, you probably don't have his drugs. Don't try that. That's not a good idea. Food, like anything, could be, it's like you got to see it like a drug, you know. And if you think that, you know, you're just going to have a little bit of crack and that's it, no, your body's going to want more crack and more crack and more crack. And before you know, it's like, oh, damn, I'm a crackhead now. Yes, you are a crackhead now. Food is no different. If you're eating fast food, high caloric food, pancakes, all this stuff every day, yeah, you're going to get addicted to that. That's the thing you're going to want to have. And he's like, oh, I'm only going to have it once a week. No, you're not. You're going to have it more than that. But even having it once a week is not a good idea because you're going to get out of caloric surplus. So to the millions and millions of fans that watch this guy, don't try to emulate his style. You know, I say try to get off those foods as much as you can. If you feel like you need to have a cookie, have a cookie, okay, and then stop. You know, as we always say, don't have that stuff in your house. You know what I mean?
Say, you know the problem with a cookie,
right? Don't have it in your house.
A pack,
right? Don't buy a pack of cookies. Buy one. You know what I'm saying? Like today, I was in the mall. You know, I saw the pretzel place. I was like, oh, pretzel. I didn't do it, but I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like something in my brain was like, oh, get about those pretzels. I was like, nah, I'm gonna chill.
Annie's.
Yeah, you know that's my joint. You know, I get the cinnamon. Oh, it's a wrap. You know what I mean?
Son.
It's a wrap. That's my drug.
I'm a sweet almond guy myself.
You know what I mean? I'd be like, I destroy that in 2 seconds, especially when it's like fresh and just melting. Heaven.
Come on, son.
So I said no. I was like, nah, chill. I went Starbucks, got a coffee, got a little like breakfast situation, went on to work. But you know, we have to recognize and be honest with ourselves and know certain foods are triggering foods. And
absolutely,
once you trigger that thing, you know, it's hard to turn it back off. And you know, just looking at your favorite whoever and trying to emulate their style, you're right, bro. Not a good idea. I would say 99% of the cats that's out there cannot do that.
No. It's a bad idea because then, you know, I mean, I don't even know if you could eat a whole extra large pizza by yourself, but just think about how many calories. Like, I'm gonna be a little transparent. I love Domino's. I eat Domino's pretty often. I've been trying to cut back, but I eat a lot of Domino's. And one day, I just randomly looked up the calories.
Don't do the calories,
son.
Good 2,000.
Just one day when y'all are bored. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I'm gonna leave it to y'all. A little homework assignment. One day when y'all are bored, just look up how many calories are in a 2-topping Domino's pizza. Y'all know the one. Any 2 items for $6.99. That one. You know what I'm saying? When you do that, because that's my favorite shit. I'm like, oh, just
that's your
2
combo,
items, $6.99 each.
Combo you go for it, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then one day I just looked it up, just out of curiosity. It's like, wait a minute, what? Damn, that's how much is in a medium 2-topping pie? Shit, I should never be eating this. So imagine that extra large.
Yeah.
That extra large is serious. And so, yeah, it's not a good idea to do that. And like Dre said, when you're trying to maintain and, you know, cut down, it's not a good idea to do shit like that. If you're going to do something small, like we've said before, get a single scoop of ice cream, not the pint or the quart or the gallon, right? Don't keep it in your crib. All the things we've said here in the past. If you want to do it, it's okay to have a cheat meal. I think it's okay to have a cheat meal every once in a while. But also, you know, think about how good you've been, right? You know, on a daily, if you look back on a week and say, hey, you know, I ate out 3 times this week. I tried to have healthier options, but, you know, I did go to Chipotle once and, you know, this place another time. Maybe that's the week to skip the cheat meal, you know? But if you say, hey, I've been killing it. I've been eating at home every day. You know, I've been eating mostly fruits and grains and lean meats. I've been doing my thing. All right, cool. If you've been doing that for a week or so, yeah, go have you a cheat meal. You know what I'm saying? Get you your Domino's medium pie or whatever. But not the whole day, because it's really what you want to do, which Dre already said. I'm just reiterating, is you want to try to continue on that good path, because we're creatures of habit, and the less you have that shit, the less you'll want that shit. So, there's nothing wrong with having it once in a while. I know a while ago, at a doctor's appointment, we were speaking about diet for my daughter, and they whipped out this chart of like do's and don'ts, what you should eat, how much you should eat, like basically what her plate should look like. Mm-hmm. And I remember I asked the doctor, I said, but what about the things that's not on this chart? She said, what do you mean? I said, the stuff that we all like that we shouldn't be eating, like, burgers and pizza and ice cream. And she got very serious as a Caribbean sister, and she said, we should never be eating those things, honestly, ever. But if you're gonna have it, it should be once a month or less. I was like, damn, I had 2 pints of ice cream this week.
Man, it's like, I don't know how we got food to go in this special category, right? Because if we look at it like any other drug, you'd be like, yo, you gotta get off that shit. All right. If I said to you, yo, Jay, I only smoke on the weekends, man. Right. Mm-hmm. I smoke cigarettes, but I only smoke them like once a Saturday. It's one whole pack. I just go through it on a Saturday. Then I go about my day. You wouldn't be like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. Nah, you'd be like, son, you got to get off those cigarettes. They're fucking killing you. Right. And so why have we given food this special thing? Like, yes, cigarettes are addicting. They're made to be addicting. That's what the manufacturer wants, is for me to be addicted, for anyone who smokes to be addicted, and let it be hard for you to let go. And so you would say, okay, I'd rather you have one cigarette a day than having a pack of cigarettes a day, but none of them are good. And so food the same way. When these people make the food, when they manufacture high caloric, high sweet, high salty foods, it's made to be incredibly addictive, like any other drug. You know what I mean? But we've given it this like special license to be like, oh, it's all right. Yeah, just on the weekends, it's cool. No, it's not. It's actually not. You need to look at it as just another drug. You're addicted to it. I'm addicted to it. We're all addicted to it. So we acknowledge that we know it's addictive. And because it's addictive and it's not good for us, we want to try to get off of it. If you can, like that doctor just said, that's why I had to big it up. Get off of it. Now, if it's such an addiction where, you just can't do that, sure, get a little something. That's why we have methadone clinics, right? It's like, okay, you're addicted. So here, take this just for you to just a little something so you won't lose your mind. Right. But continue. But you want to get off the methadone eventually. Well, it's the same thing. If I stop and like I said, I'm no different. Like I'll be, I think I know I've probably told our listeners too, like I ride my bike to work sometimes and it's a like 10-mile journey out, right? It's like 10 miles all the way there, 10 miles all the way back. So it's like, well, how many miles I rode my bike today? Oh, about 20 miles. Well, that's excellent. So my brain says, and this has happened to me a few times, on my way back, it's like, McDonald's is right there. Son, you earned it. You got 20 miles in. You can eat whatever you want in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Da, 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 da. I deserve it. And I you know what I mean?
That's it. What a pod.
Yeah. So and I would stop and be like, yo, I'm just gonna pick up this and pick up that and chill and have like a Diet Coke. And then, I had to be honest with myself and be like, I ate this McDonald's. I did 20 miles today. Right. I'm somewhat still in a caloric deficit, but this is not helping me out. This is not helping my goals.
And you probably would have done hungry an hour later.
Yeah. And so I would have done better by just keep riding my bike another half mile to the Whole Foods, picked up a couple of things, put that in my backpack, came home and cooked it. Not as convenient, right? Not as
Nope.
fast because I was starving, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm doing my intermittent fasting and stuff too. So it's like I'm starving, I didn't eat. I just woke up this big appetite. My stomach is like, yo, I don't care what it is. Eat something right now. I don't care. Eat now. What's that? McDonald's? Well, stop, bro.
Right.
Wait, get off the bike. Get off.
Right.
Right. And so on, I'm like, oh, okay, stomach, whatever you want. I'll just take a quarter pounder. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm chilling, I'm eating it, and it tastes fantastic. You know, when you're hungry, that garbage food tastes like heaven, right?
Heaven.
Like, oh, God, this is... But then, 10, 20 minutes go by, and you're like, yo, this was not a good decision. Because my body is also like, son, where them vegetables at? Like, you fronting on me, son? Like, where's the real food? You've given me garbage.
Right.
Where's the food? So I'm only saying that to say and sharing my story to be like, yo, I'm no different than anybody else. I'm just as addicted like y'all addicted. But I had to be real with myself and be like, the last time I rode by, I'm like, no, sorry, I'm riding past this McDonald's. In fact, I've changed my route so I don't have to see it on the rail. Like, I normally make this left, but I'm like, I'm not going to make the left. I'm going to go straight to avoid it. You know what I mean? Out of sight, out of mind. You got to use these little tricks on yourself. You know how it works. You know, I use these little mental games to myself and be like, nah, I'm not going that way. I'm going to go around the little longer way, come around, and then try to hit up the Whole Foods. You know what I mean? And so this is what we have to do. We got to be honest with ourselves and realize, like, garbage is garbage. Don't play that game. You're not The Rock. You're not anybody else. You're you know, hey, you regular. Maybe you're super regular. Who knows?
Maybe you super regular.
But yeah,
that's
bro. Yeah.